Oh no. Now this is also. Hello, how's everyone doing? All right, so I'm going to be sharing some ghost stories. So I'm also live on both YouTube and TikTok. Let's see. Let me find a story. And all of a sudden I'm hearing a bunch of ambulances. All right. So this one is called Heard Something Walking at 3:10 in the morning and it kept getting faster. I think that it's a good volume, right? All right, so it says, I'm 14 and I've been sleeping in my basement for a month now. So one night, myself and my cousins went to sleep and I stayed up late and started hearing weird sounds at 3:10 a.m. It's like a human footstep. At first, I thought it was my mom and I sensed it too. So, you know how footsteps sound and how a normal house sounds. First, it started slowly, small footsteps. I didn't really care much and I thought I was hallucinating. And around 10 minutes later, I woke up my cousin because it started getting weirder and louder and faster. My cousin was like, "What is that sound? I swear someone's walking there." He got very scared and the footsteps kept getting faster and both of my cousins heard it at around 3:40 and it finally stopped. Believe my believe me and my cousin said he heard footsteps by himself. I just woke up to ask if he heard something and he pointed out that he was hearing footsteps. Also, another thing happened after 2 weeks. I don't know if this is actually real or not, but I was half asleep and it felt like my blanket was being pulled. I was sleeping alone in the same basement, though I might have hallucinated or something, but whatever. I don't know what happened or how this happened, but I need thoughts on this. The stream I'm reading ghost stories. Um but yeah, I'm reading bedtime stories. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Let's go to another one because I don't honestly. It's tough to say what the foot. What are the footsteps? I don't. I could not know. On it. I mean, I don't know. All right. Sudden haunting. This is very short. My friend has lived in a house for many years with no issues. 2 years before they had a good relationship, there was no negativity. Now, several months after her mother died, her house is suddenly haunted. There is a lot of negative activity. She's being touched, a lot of noises. There's lights going crazy. I feel like this must be connected to her mother's death. Somehow, is this a common occurrence? Interested in getting thoughts. Thank you. So it's interesting because it's such a short story. So it's tough to say what is the negative aspects. Like, I feel like, yes, it makes sense if something happens, there might be some activity, but negativity doesn't mean like, oh my god, if something touched you or pull your hair, it does not like a negative haunting. um I don't know. I want to know what's the negative aspects to that. Hi. I heard he mimic a few days ago and luckily I didn't answer. I only heard it, but my brother didn't. Well, luckily I've had mimic stories in the past and it's interesting because I've done the opposite of what the internet has said. I've actually looked for my sister when I thought it was her calling out my name. And I'm still here. Hello. All right. Let's see if there's another one. Ooh, so this is like a thread on Reddit that says, "What is the most paranormal incident that has ever happened to you?" So it's just like a thread of stories. So I'll just read stories from that. It says, from Scattering Sunshine says, I used to work in a home of a nurse who had adopted several children with varying levels of disabilities. I and several others worked there as a kind of day nannies, helping to give medicine and just helping the kids with daily routines. One evening, I was the only adult there with the kids because there was only a couple of kids home. The rest were at camp. I had just put the youngest, I think he was 4, to bed, and my mom was going to be home soon. I was doing the dishes in the kitchen, which was right around the corner from his bedroom, and not long after starting on the dishes, hand washing, such, I heard a soft coo. A small child has woken up. It sounded like it was like the child I just put to bed. So in my mind, I thought, oh, he must be struggling to fall asleep and wants me to come read him something. And even though I hadn't heard him get out of bed or walk in, which I thought was odd, but I didn't think much of it, obviously. So out loud, I gently say, Name, you should be in bed, buddy. As I turned to look where the sound had come from, there was no child there. I went directly to his bedroom and he was curled up in bed. No way he could have made that sound hearing him come and go. Strange, but oddly, I wasn't afraid or creeped out. When I told the woman who was the awesome mom of these kids what happened, she says she believes that children's spirits feel safe in their home because they know how much she loves children. And that's how she had similar experiences in the past. I agreed because that was the first time, but not the last time, I felt the presence of a very young spirit. And I was never uncomfortable about it either. They never felt hostile, just curious and gentle. Oh, geez. Mm. Well, there's a lot of weird people on the YouTube live stream. All right. All right, guys. I'm gonna get off the live and I'm gonna come back on because I'm hearing a lot of ambulances. It's kind of weirding me out. So I'm like hearing like literally like a bunch of ambulances. I'm gonna get back on in like 5 minutes. I just want to see what's happening. All right.